Hello and a very good afternoon to you. I'm Rachel reporting live from Kalkine Studios. It's lunchtime here in Sydney and time for the mid-market pulse. The Australian shares have continued to trade lower following weak cues from Wall Street, with tech and consumer discretionary stocks leading the fall. Investor sentiment was dented by inflation fears as soaring energy prices rocked markets around the world. A global shortage of energy commodities has driven prices to multi-year highs and could begin to feed through to consumer prices. The benchmark index, the ASX 200, was down 0.77% by lunchtime. On the sectoral front, 10 of 11 sectoral indices were trading in negative terrain. That's barring energy. The tech sector was the worst performer, with a 2.7% loss following weak cues from US counterpart, the Nasdaq. The tech sector was followed by consumer discretionary, which rose 2.2%. Among others, healthcare, A-REITs, telecoms, industrials and consumer staples and financials also saw a surge in selling. Bucking the bearish trend, energy stocks traded higher with a 0.8% as oil prices continue to rise. Last week, the price of US crude topped $80 a barrel for the first time since 2014. Extending that rally, Brent crude futures were 0.5% higher at $83 a barrel on Monday. On the COVID-19 front, New South Wales reported 496 infections and 6 deaths in the past 24 hours. The state government has granted a swathe of new freedoms to fully vaccinated people after a 107-day lockdown. Many New South Wales businesses reopened for the first time in months today. Meanwhile, Victoria's daily cases remained high at 1,612, while they reported 8 deaths today. The death toll for the current outbreak in Victoria now stands at 93. The state edged closer to its vaccination goals as more than 85% of the state aged over 16 have had at least one dose of the vaccine. Looking back to the top gainers and losers by mid-session trade, gaming giant Star Entertainment topped the ASX losers chart by falling almost 16%. Some of the other worst performers were funds management business Platinum Asset Management, gambling and entertainment group SkyCity Entertainment, healthcare equipment firm Medicus and buy now pay later major Afterpay. The top gainer on the ASX pack was general insurance business the Insurance Australia Group, which traded higher by 3.7% by lunchtime. Some of the other notable gainers were energy firm Ampol, oil producer Beach Energy, coal miner Whitehaven and mining company Mineral Resources. Let's look at some other stocks that are creating a buzz on the ASX today. First on the list, Aussie Gambling and Entertainment Group, the Star Entertainment Group. Share price of the company declined almost 20% to $3.44. That's amid reports about alleged misconduct. The company responded that media reports regarding money laundering were misleading. Well, they said they will address the issues with regulators. They'll take the appropriate steps to address all allegations with relevant state and federal regulators and authorities. That's including Adam Bell, who's undertaking a regular review of the Star Sydney in accordance with the Casino Control Act 1992. Well, that's all for now. It's time for a very short break. Stay tuned on Kalkine TV as I'll be back with more trending market updates.
Hi, I'm Sage, and get ready to take the crypto ride with me on Kalkine TV. Watch the crypto buzz every Tuesday and join the excitement at Kalkine TV. From Bitcoins to NFTs to Dogecoin and DeFi, we have updates about everything around these digital currencies. Understand the investing rationale and the risks involved in the space with me, Sage, on Crypto Buzz. Keep watching Kalkine TV.
Hello, welcome back. Rachel here live from Sydney and you're watching the mid-market commentary. Let's look at some more stocks that grabbed the market's attention today. Second on the list was iron ore miner Fortescue Metals Group. Their shares rose almost 1%. The company's renewable energy arm, Fortescue Future Industries, has announced the construction of the world's largest electrolyser renewable industry and equipment manufacturing centre at Gladstone in Queensland. Subject to customer demand, the investment could be up to $650 million. The initial electrolyser investment is expected to be around $83 million. Fortescue Future Industries Global Green Energy Manufacturing Centre will be the first in a series of centres that will transform regional Australia through the manufacture of equipment that is critical to the generation of renewable energy and green hydrogen. Established under a landmark agreement with the Queensland Government, the Green Energy Manufacturing Centre will be a key enabler to Fortescue achieving its industry-leading target of carbon neutrality by 2030. Next up, engineering services company the CIMIC Group. Their shares traded marginally higher today. The Australian multinational contractor group's UGL has secured 2 contracts in the resources and utility sectors with a total revenue of $135 million. Under the first contract, UGL will provide maintenance projects and turnaround services for existing client Viva Energy in Victoria over a 2-year period. Under the second contract, it will design and construct 2 greenfield switching stations and construct approximately 65 kilometres of 330 kilovolts transmission line over 18 months with Powerlink to connect the McIntyre precinct in southwest Queensland to the transmission network. Shares, meanwhile, of Insurance Australia Group rose almost 3%. That's following a favourable judgment about its liability for business interruption insurance. The Federal Court found in favour of insurers on a significant number of policy wording documents and for policyholders on their questions. IAG says the judgment was detailed and a comprehensive analysis is required to assess the impact, noting it will vary by insurer. Meanwhile, Australian pharmaceutical industry shares were trading 0.4% higher by mid-session trade today. The company said in an exchange filing this morning that it expects to exceed the previous profit guidance, despite a broadening of COVID-19 lockdown restrictions in New South Wales and Victoria. It expects underlying earnings before interest and tax to be around $70 million Australian dollars and reported EBITDA about $28 million for the full year ending the 30th of August. The company recorded a stronger trading performance through its suburban and regional Priceline pharmacies, as well as online. It also experienced elevated volumes through its pharmacy distribution business. Next, the share price of integrated services provider Downer EDI fell over 1% following an update. The company entered into an agreement to sell its open cut mining east business to an Australian subsidiary of Boomer, a mining services provider in Indonesia, for $150 million. The transaction includes the transfer of the assets, liabilities, employees and contracts comprising the open cut mining east business to Boomer. Meanwhile, Boomer has paid Downer a deposit of $16 million, with the remainder of the purchase price payable at completion. That's a wrap for the show. Now keep watching Kalkine TV for more trending market updates from Australia and around the world. I'm Rachel, signing off for now.